Rivers are the original structural technology of human civilization. Long before road networks or power grids, the movement of water dictated exactly where and how human settlements could successfully take root. You can see this structural reliance along the Ganga River. The ghats, the stone architecture, and the boats are not just near the water. Their entire physical and economic existence is anchored directly into the river's flow. This reliance scaled seamlessly into the modern era. Major global capitals treated their rivers as central arteries of commerce, acting as the primary logistical engine moving people and wealth through the metropolis. Human progress has historically required a strict, symbiotic relationship with these natural systems. But as urbanization accelerated, we abandoned that design. We stopped seeing rivers as lifelines, choosing instead to pave over permeable land to build sprawling concrete infrastructure. Lacking adequate sewage treatment, cities began using waterways as industrial exhausts. Unchecked chemical dumping and raw wastewater turned these critical systems into toxic disposal basins. The biological degradation is extreme. Heavy industrialization completely chokes the ecosystem, coating the surface in thick layers of chemical foam, destroying water quality entirely. This creates a massive mechanical failure. Replacing natural floodplains and wetlands with impermeable concrete removes the Earth's innate capacity to absorb runoff and recharge groundwater aquifers, and that triggers a severe backfire. When irregular, climate-driven rainfall hits, there is zero natural drainage. The water has nowhere to go, transforming the city itself into a flooded, stagnant basin. The current model of urban expansion is a broken machine. If we are going to achieve Sustainable Development Goal 11 and keep our cities habitable, we have to completely reverse our engineering approach.
This diagram breaks down how the system actually works. A river is an interconnected mechanical network of tributaries, surface wetlands, expansive floodplains, and deep underground aquifers. These components act as a massive fluid regulator. During heavy rains, the wetlands absorb the excess surface runoff, safely filtering it down to replenish the groundwater below. The necessary repair is blue-green infrastructure. This means replacing static, overwhelmed concrete drains with permeable surfaces and bioswales that mimic the Earth's natural sponge mechanics. To protect these buffer zones, urban planners are enforcing strict zoning policies and implementing transit-oriented development, physically preventing future concrete encroachment on the floodplains. Planners now deploy AI flood prediction and real-time monitoring to actively manage the health of this complex system.
True urban resilience requires designing city infrastructure to plug directly into the river's existing biological mechanics, rather than paving over them. Reversing systemic degradation is entirely possible. It requires aggressive, integrated river basin management and heavy capital investment and decentralized wastewater treatment. It starts with the intense logistical effort of actively clearing solid waste, physically unclogging the waterways so the natural current can flow again. Through strict engineering policy, cities can transform neglected hazard zones into highly functional, climate-regulating public spaces, like the structurally integrated Sabarmati riverfront. Look at the baseline these cities started from. Heavily industrialized, polluted urban hazards are being brought back to life as clean, valuable metropolitan assets. Resurrecting the blue-green engine is a proven physical blueprint that cities across the globe are already executing. The mandate of SDG 11 is to make cities inclusive, safe, and resilient. That is physically impossible if we allow our primary water systems to collapse. Efforts to protect the river often fail because responsibility is split between dozens of disconnected local and national agencies. This fragmentation is a major bottleneck. Without unified oversight, even the best technology cannot stop pollution or encroachment. It also requires the human element. Citizens must actively reduce urban waste and advocate for sustainable water management policies at the local level. The future belongs to sustainable river cities. By prioritizing ecological planning, we guarantee equitable access to clean resources and drastically raise the quality of life for millions of residents. Ensuring human survival and economic stability in the modern city requires the physical protection and restoration of its river systems. To secure the future of our cities, we have to restore the health of our waterways. The time to act is now.